I never thought that opioids would be so prevalent in this community. The purpose of hope is important. I think these people are struggling. It's not a personality or character flaw. It's not something in which many of these people wake up and say, you know what, today I'm going to be an addict. And I think we can't lose focus in the fact that these are humans. These are people in our community that have families, that are loved. And how would that feel if people gave up on you? There have been a couple times in my career where I've had patients in which have overdosed or had contacts with EMS more than once. You know, more specifically, or probably more resonant, is an individual in which, we had responded to their home multiple times. We had transported that individual. We had provided Narcan multiple times. Kind of goes through your mind as you're responding to the call. Is this the time in which this individual took too much? Is this the time in which we're going to find this person dead? Is this the time in which I'm going to have to tell the wife who had hope that unfortunately her husband has died? And that happened. I think sometimes parents think it's not going to happen to my kid. It's not going to happen here. But we know it does. It happens in any zip code. It happens in any part of town. It happens whether you go to private school or whether you go to public school. And so it's so important for parents to have an open dialogue with their kids. And we're seeing this more with kids here in our community. We've had kids in our community, they die, and they die way too soon. And so having that conversation, opening the door and the dialogue, and sitting down and saying, you know what? Addiction's real. Drugs can potentially have a consequence that includes death, is so important. Part of the reason why a lot of people don't call us is the fear that there potentially could be a legal consequence, whether they're involved in the utilization of drugs or not. And so, a couple of years ago, the state of Nevada passed a law so that when you do call, you don't necessarily have to worry about potentially going to jail or some sort of legal ramification. And we hope with that we increase the number of people that are calling when they see this type of situation. The majority of our people in the community either know or are related to somebody that has struggled with addiction or is currently addicted. And we know that because more people are dying of opioid-related drug overdoses than are dying on our roadways. And that's something that means thousands of people are needlessly dying and really highlights the need for us as a community to ensure that we help those individuals suffering from addiction in our community. We want you to know that you're worth saving, that there is light at the end of the tunnel. We are working tirelessly to ensure that there are resources, there's support, and there's hope so that you don't have to struggle in silence, you don't have to struggle in the shadow, you can be better.